Hey, what's up, Packer Nation? This is the premiere of Coast to Coast Packers. I am your co-host, Bernie Bango, waiting here for our host, Amar. He'll be here with us soon. So happy you could join us this evening. Hey, it is good to be back in the winner's circle. Let's just start off with that. I got some family that's already on the side of things of like, let's just tank, man. Quarterback class is awesome. Forget about Jordan Love. I'm not there, man. I'll never be a fan of tanking. I'll never cheer for tanking. It feels great to be, like I said, in the winner's circle. I get it. Rams are in a tough spot right now. Brett Rippon is, he is what he is. We didn't have to face Stafford, but this is we still have to remind ourselves week in and week out. This is the youngest team in the NFL. And a win is going to build confidence. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Hey, just happy to have you here. And it's a hard thing, to try to be excited. I think sometimes about a win, maybe against a backup quarterback, but there's backup quarterbacks all over the league right now, playing and winning games. So I'll take any kind of win. I'll take it with a grain of salt, but this is a learning opportunity, a growing opportunity, right? We're building confidence with this team. It's all about progress and evolving the talent, or evolving the talent we have, and evaluating the talent we have, and a win is, I think, is a better opportunity to do that than losing. So I'm personally pumped for the win. I'm excited for Jordan Love. See, he was 20 for 26. He played, almost mistake-free football. I personally enjoyed it because this is what you get. This is what should be put on Jordan Love's shoulders, right? Because Aaron Jones should be getting those 20-plus touches a game. And so he had 24 touches yesterday, and we didn't put that pressure on Love to throw 30-plus times, and I think he's thrown 40-plus times this season as well. So welcome to Game On, Bernie. Thank you, Jason. Hey, just happy to be here. So something that Amar and I are going to do here, and I'm going to get into it. Something that we decided on is we're going to do opening statements. And my opening statement is it's going to be a bit of a ramble here. It's going to start with the Rasul Douglas trade, and it just kind of, you'll see where I go here with my opening statement. I was caught off guard with that trade. I personally thought Preston Smith or Devondre Campbell were the guys we would have traded to maybe find some extra draft picks. I thought maybe we're going to go into a rebuild mode, maybe get a little more off the checkbook, or maybe get a guy that's in a contract year and trade those away. Because with Stokes on the IR, Ja looked better this weekend, but he's still battling to get healthy from the looks of it. And only spending a 7th round pick on a cornerback this last draft. My initial thought was this was a bad decision to trade away the locker room leader of the secondary. I do like the fact that the Packers now have 5 picks in the first 100 picks. But then I started preparing myself to see Joe Barry's defense and secondary to get shredded by the pass. Well, I'm happy to see the defensive effort yesterday. I was proven wrong by the secondary about them getting shredded or making Rippon maybe look more than a random backup. I now understand that the trade for Rasul, I've understood it, or I've accepted it in a sense of like, he's at the end of his prime, right? Douglas is near the end of his prime, and he said something along the line. He wants to be a winner. He wants to play with winners, and he's kind of sick at this losing crap. And I know that might have rubbed some fans the wrong way. I was not bothered by this. I'm all for athletes speaking their opinion. I feel like if they hold that crap in too long, it could blow up even worse. And he was just speaking his mind. So I'm happy for Douglas to get there, to get, he's going to be with the Bills. He's going to be with the contender. But the Packers, though, by trading Douglas, in my opinion, the Packers are acknowledging that we What's up, Amar?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I'm just running through the end of my opening statement here. And
Okay.
And so I was just ranting on a bit about the Douglas trade, about how I was taken back by it. He's the leader of our secondary. I prepped myself to watch Brett Rippon maybe look like a starting quarterback in the NFL yesterday. That didn't happen, thankfully. But then I was talking about, we got Stokes on the IR. We only drafted one cornerback. We did draft two DBs overall, but Carrington Valentine, he might have been a hidden draft, man. He looked tenacious yesterday. I loved his play. A guy like that, just go out there with your swagger and play, man. Leave it on the field. Because rookies, man, they're going to make some big mistakes. There's probably going to be some big plays they miss. And it's whatever, man. Go out there and do your thing. And I loved watching him play, with that tenacity from whistle to whistle. And then Anthony Johnson Jr., man, I think he laid some flag-free lumber yesterday on Tyler Higbee. I think that might have been my favorite hit of the season because it seems like anytime we've seen anybody get hit that hard, we see laundry on the field. So I was really happy to see Anthony Johnson Jr. lay out Higbee yesterday. I was like, ooh, baby, when I saw that hit. And then immediately, though, I was like looking around for the flag on the field or the flag symbol to come out of the marquee or whatever, and it didn't come. And I was like, all right, they're letting them hit there. But on the replay, man, that it was sweet. I mean, he hit him exactly where he needed to be. He had a shoulder. But it's kind of my opening statement was like, I was really sad about Douglas, sad to see him leave. I thought Puka and Kupp would be able to carry Rippon, but that's not what we saw. We saw a good defensive effort during, a Rams offense that's obviously hurting without their leader. But that's my opening statement, man. Happy to get that W.
I couldn't agree more. It was funny where you come against a team that the Rams was depleted with their starting quarterback, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, man, we have seen the Packers struggle against backup and third string quarterbacks, and that wasn't the case. A lot of it wasn't mistake free, but it was good to finally come away with the victory. End of the day, it doesn't matter who you're playing on Sunday. It matters that you still got to show up and you still got to perform. And for us to hold a team to 3 points, I know I was giving Todd some shit yesterday about giving Joe Barry credit. I have to admit, you know what? We were down a starting linebacker. We lost Kenny Clark in the second quarter. We were starting multiple rookies across the board, and we still were able to get the job done. Like you said, Cooper Kupp. You got Darrell Henderson, who he hadn't been there for a while, but he knows the offense. And you still got Puka, who's a rookie sensation, and we shut him down. And Carrington Valentine, being the guy that he is, he was a 7th round pick, but they were expecting him to go, and he was actually going a high 2nd, 3rd round. We kind of got him as a steal in the 7th round based on Mel Kiper's rankings. But he reminded me a lot of a 2018 rookie, Jair Alexander. Like, I remember him against that Rams game in 2018 where he had like 12, PBUs, and he was just making Brandon Cook's life miserable. And it just, I have not seen that kind of passion and that kind of energy on that side of the field. Just like in the contained energy, right? Where you're not sitting here and getting flags and penalties and stuff like that, but you're getting the job done. You're playing with a little swagger. And you know what? I've been wanting Anthony Johnson in the lineup for a while now, and I was pretty impressed by that Higbee play. I went back and watched the game because I wasn't able to watch it live. So I had to go back and watch the whole thing condensed. And watching the Higbee play was amazing. And a few things that I noticed that you touched on a lot of things. I was like, man, I hope he leaves me something. But I was like, one of the things I was thinking about was watching how the offense ran with Sean Ryan in there. Sean Ryan had a game. I mean, he only played 7, 8 snaps, but I went back and looked every snap he had. He was playing assignment short football. He was stonewalling guys. I mean, he looked amazing in the run game. And yeah, he had a couple pass reps, and he didn't look bad. And I really think like one of the things that I feel that that this coaching staff has a hard time doing is it just like saying, okay, you know what? I understand we have these veterans here, or we have these guys that have shown us what they can do, but just saying, all right, there's a guy that's waiting that jumped in and played extremely well. We need to start giving them some reps. We need to give maybe like, you know, Josh should have been in there since week 2, week 3, right? He wasn't. Now he comes in, and our offense has been running a lot smoother. Sean Ryan comes in. We don't miss a beat. Hell, we scored a touchdown on that play. And I was really impressed with that. I was impressed with Jordan Love's game. Wicks is my man, though. I think, yeah, he had the fumble, but he had a fumble trying to get a first down. But, like, just watching him play, how he catches the ball effortlessly, uses his hands. He's an amazing blocker. These are guys that I feel like, you know, we have a youth movement that we keep talking about. Hey, let's just see what these guys can do. Let's just see them develop. If that's the case, then we need to start giving these younger guys more reps because we can start winning some games. And you know what? Like, as cliche as it is and how corny as it is when, like, Coach LaFleur is like, you know, we got to go 1-0 this week. We got to go 1-0 this week. But it's true. If we're going to Pittsburgh, it's going to be a dogfight of a game. I feel like it's going to be a defensive game. But, like, we have an opportunity to make some noise here. I mean, who knows? I'm optimistic. I'm the kind of guy that thinks that we're going to win the Super Bowl every year. So, like, watching the way this team played against, yeah, you can call the Rams a subpar team, but hell, you know what? Like, the Rams are still the Rams, and they're still coached by a really good coach who's a Super Bowl winning coach too. Yeah. I'm really like, I have to admit the Douglas trade did really take me for a loop. I love Douglas as a player, as a leader. I love his story. And seeing him leave really did hurt me. I had a lot of tweets that probably, you know, expressed discomfortment. Discomfortment? I can't say discomfortable. Yeah. I wasn't happy. Let's just say that. And seeing Carrington step in and play as well as he did, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do going forward.
Yeah, I'm excited about the young talent. Like, it started to disappear for some reason, the excitement. Maybe that's when you go a month without winning a game. It's going to take a little bit of the wind out of your sails. But that win, it kind of got me excited to see some of this young talent. We go to Pittsburgh next week, and I've heard some people think that they're frauds. I don't know, but I'm not big on Kenny Pickett. I'm not scared by him by any means. That Steelers defense is what scares me. I think the defense, but I'm looking forward to it. So let's jump into like some good news, bad news. Whether it's from the game or what's this going on at all. Any thoughts that you have? Would you want to start with good news or bad news, Amar?
I would say let's get the bad news out of the way, and I think
okay.
I'll start out with the injuries to Christian Watson and to Kenny Clark. Both seem to be not long term, but not having those guys there was, it's almost an unfortunate reoccurring story with Watson, right? He made a great play and then he got hurt, right? And it was funny, like the injuries was like he has a head, back, and chest injury, and like I think we said on Sunday it was like, what the hell? Wait, when did he get hit by a car? Like Monty had said this on one of his tweets. So I'm like, damn, like did he like did someone like hit him again? Like I don't know what happened. Like what is going on? He got up, he did his celebration thing, and then I'm like, wait, he fell back down and he got busted up. Like what happened? So him being out, and then also with Kenny Clark being out, you're gonna really need to see these young guys step up with Wooden and with Brooks, who did an amazing job. And I think Wyatt, who has been really coming on these last few weeks, I think him taking a more of a down role with TJ Slayton is nasty. I love TJ Slayton. I've loved him since he came out. I've been crying for more reps and snaps from him, and he's been gaining them, and he is not disappointed. So that's my bad news is just the injuries, really.
Okay. But my bad news was it's gonna be a really quick good news, bad news, but I got more good news too. Good news is we scored a touchdown in the first half.
Yeah.
Bad news is it was the only points we had the whole first half. So, you know, but it was good to see that, and that's really the only bad news. The injuries are always bad news. But when I thought about it, I was like, man, it's hard. It's harder for me to find bad news when we win games. And I was so stoked. I was probably more excited than I should have been for that touchdown yesterday. And I know that I was on my Pro Sports Fan where I do like a Manning cast of myself when I watch the game, and yeah, man, I was pumped. I was jumping up and down, and I was just like, dang, man, that's the most excited I've been for like a regular season touchdown to start a game in quite a while. But good news, like we said, we won. Defense looked energetic and hungry. Something that I like to see too, that I was happy to see was, we look stronger in the second half again. It's something that's like, it's something I'm holding on to with this team is that, like, man, the second half always looks better. And that first half was definitely a step forward. And Aaron Jones got 24 touches, right? That is good news. When Aaron Jones touches the ball, we win games. But Aaron Jones is he's a great runner in the red zone. And we've seen multiple times, I think, where we go to AJ Dillon in the red zone. And I get it. Dillon is, he looks like a wrecking ball, right? He's Quadzilla, but I don't know, man. Jones runs angry. Dillon is like that ox that you hook the plow to, and he just slowly drags the plow across the field. But Jones is angry, man. If I saw him coming my way, I just wouldn't get. I would get out of the way. So that was good. I think that was good news that Jones touched the ball 24 times. Now I'm going to ask you this, Amar. Will he follow that up with giving Jones 15 plus touches again? Or will we go back to like Jones getting 10 touches again?
So it's funny you say that because I didn't even say my good news, and I was going to say the same thing where it came down to still. Hold on. All right, is my mic still off? It's still messed up. Is it better this way?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Put this on here. Let's do it like this. All right, there we go. I have my Bluetooth ear on, and this is the mic that's working. So that's probably what it is. I got to fix this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not used to using my laptop for this stuff. It's my first time, so I apologize. I'm all over the place. Joe, I know I'm late. The mic's all messed up. I'm just all jacked up, bro. It's my first time, all right? I'm a rookie to this thing. You guys are all, veterans up in here. Give me some grace. Give me some grace, all right? So, no, when it comes down to it is, like, Aaron Jones has shown if he gets more than 20 touches, like, what was it, more than 15 touches a game, we're like 31-1. And the one time we lost is against, I think, the Niners, like in that playoff game. And we also are number one in the league in points scored in the second half. We're the last in the league in points scored in the first half. So the good news to me is Aaron Jones looks like he's healthy. He looks like he's spry. I kind of have a different opinion on A.J. Dillon. I think A.J. Dillon has been really coming on these last couple of weeks. I feel like you are right, though. He's running more behind his pads. He does have that kind of like slow plotter. But, man, every time he touched the ball, I felt like he was kind of he wasn't obviously as spiry as Aaron Jones, but he's like shot out of a cannon. And I really think that it's weird. Like, they've spent the last 2 months really like just tapering off Aaron Jones touches. And maybe he really was hurt more than what they were telling us. And because now, he's had all this time and he's kind of fully healthy. Because he even said it too. Him and Ja both said that they feel like they're more 100% now than they have all season. So maybe we're going to see this back end run where Aaron Jones is going to be getting a full complement of touches. You're going to see, hey, look, Emmanuel Wilson looked good. He had a 31-yard run at the end of the game. I'm like, hey, we should just start giving all these guys some play, and then that makes Jordan's job a little bit easier. And that's one of my good news is that we're seeing small but positive improvements in Jordan's game. Obviously, a deep ball needs to be worked on. I think that has a lot to do with just trying to get used to all these years. He's still not used to Watson, right? But he's getting better. And I think like if these guys just catch the ball, like if they're catching the ball and he has terrible numbers, all right, you got me dead to rights. But if they're catching the ball and his numbers that he's like a 70% completion percentage, he's
Yeah.
playing well, we're winning games, we're gaining in scoring distance, we're not maybe closing the deal like we should be, but hey, I'm going to take that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where we go from here because Pittsburgh's pass rush is amazing, but
Yeah.
when it comes to their secondary is suspect.
And that's, and good thing is our O line is better at pass blocking than run blocking. But something else I wanted to say as you were talking kind of reminded me of some good news is Christian Watson went up and got a ball, in the second half. And we need to see more of that. It took a couple big catches last year, right, to get that confidence going. I'm hoping that big play. We got to see Musgrave, right, with a catch and run yesterday. So we got to see a lot of that young talent sprinkled in there yesterday. Just got to see it more consistently. So you got any other news or takes on this Rams game so far, Amr, that you want to get out there or discuss or
Man, like I just gotta give my unfortunate props to Joe Barry. That's it. He's averaging like 19.9 points a game, and it is what it is. Dang it, Todd. He's just loving this right now. I know he is. But the truth is, you know what? Had to go back and watch the game, and I really did see like he was blitzing, he was manning up on these guys, he was sending pressure. I mean, I was like, you know what? I rather us play defense like that. You know how like Will Smith and in Bad Boys 1, Will Smith and Marlon Lawrence when they're like, talking about how Marlon Lawrence can't drive, right? And then at the
yeah.
end of the movie when like Marlon Lawrence is racing the bad guy and then he beats him and he's like, that's how you drive. You drive like that every single time. I don't care. You drive like that every Joe Barry, this is how you play defense. Week in, week out, every single time. I do not care. Like that is, sign me up for that every single week. And if we lose and they go over the top on us a couple times, screw it. I'm fine with it. But you know what? Play man up. Just play just like that. Just do that. Don't change anything. Just do just that. I'm fine. I will be the happiest camper ever.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was funny. I saw some positive things about Joe Barry on the Twitterverse. Ben Kurt had tweeted as well about extend Joe Barry, and it was a very mixed reaction. And he said it was a joke, but I don't know, man. I was just like, I told myself like Joe Barry can't do anything to keep his job next year, but he might have a job with us next year just because, it's what if that happens? He's.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel.
Yeah.
Either, but
oh God, it's like it's one of those
Ben
things
Kurt's
where
a
all right. Look. Okay, Todd, you better stop it. Don't you say crazy stuff like that. Don't be speaking stuff like that in existence. We do not manifest these things, okay? No. All right, so, but I'll say this. If he is able to play this defense and to hold teams to 19 points, 15 points, 10 points or less against teams like Chargers, against the Chiefs. I know they're kind of hit or miss, hot or cold. But I'm serious, like these teams that have really good offenses and that have, pretty all-pro quarterbacks, he can do against them. All right, Thanksgiving comes in, we go to Detroit and we shut out Detroit somehow, bro. All right, you got me dead to rights. I'll eat some crow. Corey Benke said he's been waiting to see this defense show up so that I'm required to eat crow. I am signed up for that. I have a bowl and a spoon ready. I have a bib. I'll do it. But, Joe Barry got to keep this up. That's all I got to say. And right now, the whole Brent Rippon thing comes into play. But at the end of the day, you know what? He's still an NFL quarterback. He's still been with the Rams all year. He game plan. He took all the first reps. I mean, so it's like, you know what? Like you gotta give him some flowers. I'll give him some flowers. They might be kind of old and busted flowers, but I'll give him some flowers.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy to see it because I thought to myself with Puka and Cooper, they were going to set something up where they could still get the ball in those guys' hand, figure something out on the week leading up. Like you said, he took all those first team snaps all week. They had time to, game plan, and McVay is a guy that you think could spin something up, We got a true North Packers fan in here saying this is not pick six. I'm confused.
It's a new show, man. It's a new show. We're changing up on you.
Yeah. Welcome to Coast Packers. I'm Bernie Bango.
I'm Amar.
Yeah. And hang out with us, man. And hang around. Because let's move into pick six is on Tuesday. All right.
Yes. Fabric. I agree. Jason, I agree. Yes. We'll give him some fake flowers. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
That way we can give him back to him if he does this again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what you leave at the cemetery, man, right? The fake flower.
Yeah. Yeah. The ones you can just I don't know, man. They're not biodegradable then, right? They hurt the environment then. I don't know, man. Like Barry's been hurting my environment for the last 2.5 years, so.
Well, you got to take the funeral roses because he's dead to us, right?
Oh, yeah, he was. He sure hell was.
He's trying to resurrect himself, I think.
Hey, look, Joe ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. I ain't buying him new flowers. I'm gonna get someone else's flowers. You're damn right. But I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even do that I would be respectful to the person that passed. All right, I would be respectful. Yeah. I might grab some that in a trash can and give them those flowers.
Yeah.
Day before.
Hey man, they've caught people stealing flowers from cemeteries. So
hey, could you imagine if you get a citation for grave robbing and it was some flowers and it was for Joe Barry of all things? Oh my gosh, that would be just the worst thing ever.
Dude, it was like the day after Memorial Day. There was someone driving through a veterans out here where I live. I live in Western Washington. Amar's in Virginia, so that's listeners.
Northern Virginia.
That's why
Yep.
Yeah, that's why it is Coast to Coast Packers, because it's East Coast and West Coast right now. But there's a cemetery here for veterans, and the day after Memorial Day, someone got caught just kind of swooping up all the best bouquets they could, and then they tried to claim that they were just cleaning up dead flowers and trying to make but it was like security of. But anyways, that's what it made me think of. Let's get into that next segment, because I think this one might be one that takes us about top three, bottom three right now. It's kind of like good news, bad news, but let's talk about three. You can talk specific players, maybe position groups, but top three of something that maybe surprised you so far this season. Because we're 8 games in now, right? For us, like, to me, it's still like this is 50% of the way, right? But that's not the reality anymore.
Yeah, it's like kind of not really.
Yeah. And so there isn't really a 50% of the way, because next week we'll be past that 50%. Yeah. So we're at halfway. We're just going to say we're halfway through the season. What are your, surprises? What are your, crap, man? Like they're not doing what I wanted.
I got you. No, I got you. I think my top three, I'll start positive this time. All right.
Okay.
Top three would definitely going to be, you have to say Aaron Jones, just to see. He has to be part of your top things to see how our offense is with him in the field, right? Like just him there, we're just a completely different team. And without him being there, obviously we lose an element of our offense that I just feel like is completely lost. Yes, I would. I would. The things oh God, let's not go there. That's my first top three, right? And then of course, I think the development of some young players, like these rookies that have come in and performed well, like the Wicks of the world, you have Carrington Valentine, you have Jaden Reed. I mean, you have guys that have come in and played well, and they've kind of hit the ground right. And Musgrave, I want to say like the rookies is like another top three, because you know what, like you don't expect, you get a rookie that performs and presents and plays well in their rookie year, it's kind of like icing on the cake, right? It doesn't happen very often, right? And then I think the third one is, I'm going to say Jordan, just because I think expectations for him were set kind of high, but not high, right? Like we wanted to give him grace, wanted to give him time. I feel like we've seen some glimpses of
of real good football. We've seen some not so good football, and that he has shown I think from last week to this week, he's shown improvement if his team helps him from around him. My
100%.
three bottoms are going to be real quick. I'm just going to say it. It's going to be Luke Butkus when it comes to the offensive line. I feel like it did take a step back until this last week, right? I'm going to say Christian Watson, and I only say that because he did kind of take the league by storm when he really just came on the field, right?
Yeah.
And that
Yep.
he felt he's been injured, so he's been kind of trying to get warm again, things like that. And then my third one, and it's one of those things where he's been a bottom three, and it's Savage. I'm not been a fan of Savage ever since I felt like he started coming on with Pettin goes, and it's like he has never really got back to that standard that he had last year at Pettin, and I just haven't been a fan. I know he's on IR, but I mean when he was there, I felt like Anthony Johnson, like you were saying, Anthony Johnson just was night and day. He knows how to wrap up and tackle. Like that, seeing him wrap up and tackle Higbee was like literally, I had a tear in my eye. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Holy crap! A safety making a wrap up tackle! I've never seen this in like 4 years. Like this is insane."
Yeah.
So those are that's what I have right now.
All right, right on. I'm there with you. The safeties didn't make my bottom three list. They definitely were like in my bottom three preseason. I was like, man, that is not a good position group. Who the guy, then like Jonathan Owens, right? He had he had that safety blitz yesterday, right? So maybe the safeties did just enough yesterday to stay off my radar. But if we're talking safeties, I would love to see the Packers bring Hunter Wohler from the Wisconsin Badgers to come play safety next year. But I know that's probably a whole different show to talk about that. My bottom three, my first in the bottom three here in the cellar, I'm going to go with our front office, man. They did not, I feel like they did not shore up this offensive line. I think they had all their eggs in the Bakhtiari basket. They're like, oh, he's going to be just fine, and it's like he clearly hasn't fine. Iowa Joe says, nope, Cooper to Gene. Iowa. I will happy take him, man. Just as long as they allow him to return punts. That's the rest and the team. That's the rest and the team, right?
Iowa, and there's a safety out of Utah that is like nasty too. So Iowa, man, I'm saying Iowa got defensive players that come out of damn fields. They come out of the cornfields, man. They just grow them on trees and shit, and I love it. And I would take everybody from Iowa. Honestly, I would. I just bring in Ferns. I'd bring in the damn head coach and be the DC. I just put his ass in the DC. Seriously, why not at this point? Shit, might as well try.
I feel you, Iowa Joe. He's saying we don't need no stinking Badgers. Yeah, man, I'm a homer, dude, through and through. So I can't help it. So front office, they didn't do enough, I think, to help the offensive line. And then as we've seen the progression of this wide receiver crew, as much as I'm like, oh, man, I love all the young talent there, I think they really did Jordan a disservice. And this goes wide receiver or tight end. I feel like they could have went and got somebody that's a first down machine, or just like, they got a 99 rating of hands. Ferentz is a dingleberry. Yes, he is. The whole family is. Iowa is all about
taking shots.
Iowa is all about nepotism in their coaching. And
that's true. Right? Yeah, is this kid?
Ferentz has all of his kids on the team coaching, and then you look at the basketball team in Iowa. They got what's his face? McCaffrey's got all of his kids out there running around playing for his team too.
Okay, all right, never mind. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, no, we don't want that. I don't want no nepotism. We got enough of that in NFL. We don't need none of that shit coming up. Gosh damn.
This is just a Badgers Hawkeyes. Hey, Mike, in college, my roommate was an Iowa Hawkeye fan.
Okay.
So I have a lot of love for the Hawkeyes. It's all friendly from here. So front office, that I feel like they're my bottom three. LaFleur, he's in my bottom three, man. Like
I see it. Yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah.
I don't see it, man. I thought we were gonna get this, offensive savant, this guru to come in, and he was gonna wave a magic wand, but there's not enough wands to go around at Hogwarts. I don't know, but LaFleur definitely didn't get one. And I think he's maybe just still trying to figure it out. And then my third, bottom three, Royce Newman. I won't let him go.
Yes. No.
Like,
I'm happy you reminded me of that bastard. Oh my gosh.
The offensive line could be in the bottom three, but I'm just going to single out Royce Newman. I can't believe he's still employed.
Agreed.
And he won't be at the end of this year. But there's my bottom three. I'm going to jump to my top three, and it might look a little different. And some people might be like, why? But I'm going with Jaden Reed. He's leading the team in receiving yards right now. I know our receivers aren't performing in an impressive manner, but I'm putting him up there, man. He's my number one guy I want to talk about because when the ball's in the air, he attacks it, right? Like the way he attacks the ball, it's like you wish you could take the spirit of Jaden Reed and put it in Christian Watson, right? Christian Watson's got that 6'5" frame, 200+ pound, and Jaden Reed's not even 6 feet tall, and he goes up there and attacks the ball and rips it out of the air. Another guy in my top three this year is Quay Walker. He's tenacious, good one, yep. He tackles, and he's really instinctual. I know a lot of people hated on him because of his what is that stupid IQ test? The
Wonderlic and the S2.
The Wonderlic, right? The people were giving him a hard time for the Wonderlic test. But that dude's got instincts, man. And sometimes in football, I'll take a few guys that might have a few rocks in their head because, like, if you're gonna be dumb, you got to be tough. And Quay is a tough mother, And I don't think he's dumb. I think his instinctual level of football is there. Maybe it's the X's and O's and the paper stuff that he's not, but it's on the field, man. You just see him. He reacts to the play. And I just love watching the guy play.
I just don't think you could be like dumb to be. I feel like you're playing. I know Georgia has nothing but like all-star talent. I don't think you can be a shot caller. Him and Nakobe Dean were the ones that called plays on that team. I don't think you can be there. Also play special team snaps if you're a dummy, right? And it's like you damned if you do, if you damned if you don't. Like you remember Mylan Roll? He was a safety out of Florida State. He was a Rhodes Scholar. And it's like either you're too smart to play the position or you're not smart enough. It's like, where's the damn? Where do we do here? Come on now. So no, those tests are great and dandy, but we've seen people who have scored poorly and scored highly and have been either really great in the league or been terrible. It doesn't make a difference. It just matters who you like. It just sometimes it's situation, it's scheme, it's the player, it's all those things, right? I mean, so I love Quay. I think Quay was an awesome choice.
Yeah. I don't put anything into kind of standardized testing because when I took the ASVAB to join the military, I got done and they were like, holy crap, dude, you can choose any job. You scored so high. And I'm like, dude, I am not a sharp dude. Like I barely got out of high school and you're telling me I can do anything in the Army. I'm like, but anyways, so those standardized testing, I don't take much. Jason here in the comments, I like what he said here. LaFleur is an offensive savant. The issue is that he can scheme up crap all day, but he and his staff can't teach technique and fundamentals to save their lives. I like that take, Jason. That's a good take there because some of our offensive flags yesterday. Let me
talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that. I know you're going.
I'll finish my top three, and then let's get into some of those flags yesterday.
Yeah.
And then my last in my top three is Carl Brooks. Yeah. I love that dude, man. Bowling Green, late round find. I think that guy is going to get more snaps now with Kenny, beat up. But I like Carl Brooks, man. That was another great late round find.
He's a physical specimen. He's built like 300 pounds. He moves really well, and him coming from Bowling Green, right?
Yep.
But I'm telling you, man, like Goody hit it with this draft, man. I know he's gotten some hate for some previous drafts, but man, these last two drafts he's done really well. And Brooks and Wooden, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do against this Pittsburgh offense that has potential, but it just hasn't really ever hit that point yet.
Yeah, and so let's talk about how kind of what popped in my head when Jason made that comment, right? The fundamentals, right? We've seen so many penalties kill some drives this season, and but yesterday, man, those two offensive offside penalties I am blown away. I don't see it in the photos. I just
No.
maybe I need someone to come to my house and explain it to me. But
Mm-mm.
what were you feeling or thinking or seeing there, Amar?
Look, so I was watching it on Gamecast on ESPN's app. All right, so it's fourth
Okay.
and one. We're like by the 50. I'm like, oh shit, we're going for it. And then I see 4th and 1, Jordan Love sneak, successful, and then it's like, oh, offsides, offense. I'm like, how is the offensive line offsides? And Josh, I'm like, okay, Josh is, I know Josh gets busted up a lot, but he's a really, really, really smart dude. I was like, there's no way he was offsides. And I found out later that it was Runyon that was offsides both times.
Yep.
And Runyon was like, well, I didn't know. I've lined up this way since I was a kid. And so basically, if you've listened to even some of the analysts, some of the refs that are analysts, and then you listen to other people that do this stuff too, they're like, hey, it's a very ticky-tacky call. They can call it, but they don't call it across the board. And then we
Yeah.
watched multiple games afterwards, like the Eagles and other teams that were doing it were lined up the same exact way. They weren't throwing the flag. So like I don't know. Like I was besides myself. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a bunch of
Yeah.
garbage. And I don't know, like if I'm the Packers, I'm like I need the NFL to like tell me what did we do wrong, and then I would just make sure that you're lined up just like that going forward, because like you go back and look at the still pictures before the ball is hiked. Nobody's offsides. No one's lined up in a neutral zone, and that's what the penalty was. I just didn't see
Yeah.
it. I didn't see it. No one else did. It clearly
Yeah.
that the guy that saw it was standing next to the floor. So I'm like, bro, were you mad at LaFleur yelling at you in the ear or some shit? You just taking it out on us? Like what? Because refs do stupid shit like that sometimes. Like
Oh yeah.
the human element comes into it, right? Like I don't know, man. Like I said, I was beside myself. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, we lose this game because some BS like that. I was not gonna be a happy camper, to say at least.
Yeah, and if those two plays shake out differently, I mean, I think this game gets put away even quicker. NFL hates the tush push. They're going to start calling it weird to discourage teams so they don't have to make a rule change. I would
Right?
not be surprised, by that. It is kind of a weird play because wasn't it a rule for a long time, like you couldn't really push the quarterback forward, like you couldn't put your
No,
hands on him and push.
that's the change. You could before. So before you could have linemen push. You could have people behind the quarterback and push them forward. Now you can't push them. Or no, I think you could. Can you push? Maybe I don't know if you can push, but you can't pull. So the thing is like you can't pull the player with you, and so that's the difference here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna do. The Eagles are gonna do it till the other team stops them or the refs stop them. And Packers got stopped before they could even try, I guess. But wanted to keep it easy on the time here, and let's get into some last words here. Some final thoughts. Last wishes. Since we're doing the funeral and cemetery talk, maybe we got some last wishes. But maybe we should ask Joe Barry, what is your last meal before you leave the team?
Oh God.
Maybe a cheesy hot dog. We can get him like cheese stuffed hot dogs. I don't know.
I'll get him a tackling dummy so he doesn't have to tackle air like an idiot. I don't know. Honestly, like last words, man. Like I just I am happy to see the Packers win. There's a lot of people that can be really negative right now, right? Oh, well, they beat a crappy team and this and that, whatever. End of the day, we got a W. We haven't had a W in like over a month. I'm happy. I'm ready to just enjoy the season for what it is and hope to God that, like, who knows? Like, people want to hate on making the playoffs. People want to hate about draft position, all this bullshit. I'm sorry, BS. But the truth is like, I want us to really just take it week by week, see small improvements. And if we somehow sneak into the playoffs, great. If we don't, fine. No big deal. I'm just happy to see these guys, A, winning, B, being happy. Like seeing these guys smile like after the how they show them going into the locker room after the game.
Yes.
And they're like, that's one. Or they're like, hey, like don't count us out. Man, that's what I want to see. Like I want to see these guys having fun again.
Yes.
And just enjoy themselves. And I'm telling you right now, Musgrave, you score another touchdown in Green Bay, you gotta do Lambeau Leap. I don't know what the hell is going on with these veteran players. David Bakhtiari, I'm sorry, a freaking Aaron Jones. Hey, Ja, you got Rashawn Gary. You guys need to be telling these dudes, hey, jump in the stands. All right, the fans, you pay extra money for those tickets to be able to hopefully catch a player, right, and enjoy that moment. Lambeau Leap, like Laurie Butler and Robert Brooks made that joint. You gotta you gotta. That's what Green Bay's all about, man. Like
That's part of the
fireworks.
culture.
Yeah, like I need my guys to keep that up. Like they can't. When Musgrave was looking at the crowd, I'm like, no, dog, get your ass up in the stands. Like you're like what 6'8", dog. You can. That's an easy jump for you. Get your butt up there, dude. Like come on now.
Yeah. Cheesehead culture is a very real thing. And the Lambeau Leap I would say that's in the top 5 of cheesehead culture for sure,
Right.
So yeah. Musgrave, yeah, get your butt up there, dude.
Hell yeah.
So I just want to say I was starting to lose excitement for Sundays. I hate to say that, but I'm the type of person that's still gonna watch. I don't care. And I try to find silver linings and hoping to see highlights, but I'm pumped for next week now. We're going to Pittsburgh. I'm feeling good. I was saying, I don't know if you caught me earlier. Like I don't like tanking. You can't tank.
Me neither.
You should never tank. I will never. I will never cheer for that crap. This win this weekend is a stepping stone, a great learning and confidence building game for the youngest team in the NFL. And I'm going to take the optimistic approach. I know you have a nice optimistic approach too, Amar. And I really appreciate.
It's my birthday on Monday, man.
About you.
It's my birthday on Monday, so I need a victory, man. I'm going to MGM in up in the National Harbor on Saturday with some friends, and then we're gonna spend the night there. And then after that, the next day, we're gonna go watch the games at the sports book in MGM. And yeah, man, and I was supposed to go to the game in Pittsburgh, but just it didn't work out because just obligations and stuff like that. So we're gonna all my friends that are Pittsburgh, my family that are Pittsburgh fans, they're gonna be with me too, watching the game, giving me crap. It's okay though, I love them to death, so it's cool. But I can't. Hey, look. I need a victory. I need a victory for my birthday, man. I need to go into my birthday with a smile, man. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm what? But if it don't happen, it don't happen. Yeah. Cool. I ain't gonna be mad about it.
Well, I might have to bring some cheesecake to the show to celebrate your birthday next week, Amar.
Heck yeah.
And I also share. I got an in-law. My mother-in-law is a Steelers fan, so we both got some family that are Steelers fans. So I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week.
Oh, 100%. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
So you enjoy that birthday weekend, Amar.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, hey, Packer Nation, Cheeseheads, thanks for joining the premiere episode of Coast to Coast Packers. I'm your co-host, Bernie Bango. This is the man, your host, Amar, right here. And we're going to be looking forward to be back next week for your birthday, man. I'm ready to celebrate, and come join us every Monday. It's 6:45 Central Standard Time for the majority of you cheeseheads. Thank you once again. Peace, love, and prayers. We're out of here.
Go Pack.
Yeah.